Like a person has a father and a mother, and it's not even a question that these are the parents. He says, no, maybe we should do some DNA testing to prove that this is your father and mother. Are you out of your mind? What am I going to waste my time? You know? It's so blatantly clear. I have to go to prove to who am I proving it to? There's a story of Beshalach Salanter. I told over the story of Beshalach Salanter. It's during the Beshalach Salanter. You know, he was very involved in Kiruv, and he lived in different places, different times of his life. He lived in Vilna, he lived in Germany, he lived in Paris at the end of his life, because Paris was the height of assimilation. You know, at the end of the 18th century, last part of the 18th century, and so he left Vilna, and Vilna was the Haskalah, the Enlightenment movement. And people, they send their children to what they call gymnasium. That was like secular education. Those families assimilated. They gave up Yiddishkeit, and there was one family he had tremendous influence over, and they were going the straight path. He left Vilna for about 4 or 5 years. He comes back, he visits the family because they're very close. Immediately he notices things were changing, changes in the family, and he heard, you know, the daughter's already going to gymnasium. So the father comes into the house. The father prides himself. I told over the story. He says, you know, my daughter, she just won the prize. She's the best violinist in the whole region in Vilna. So he's very proud. So Rabbi Shalom understands, okay. So the father walks out. The daughter walks in. She's about 17 years old. And he says to the girl, he says, I heard you're a professional. You won this award. Could you play something for me? So the daughter says to, the girl says to Rabbi Shalom, he says, do you think I have to prove myself to you? I have a certificate saying it's known. I'm world renowned, whatever it is. She says this. Not even talk about the arrogance and disrespect. So Rabbi doesn't say a word to the girl. The father comes in, and Rabbi Shalom shares with the father, says to the father, you know, I asked your daughter to play a piece for me, and she says she doesn't have to, because she doesn't have to prove herself to me that she is this, you know, she has this expertise in to play the violin. So Rabbi Shalom says, do you think God has to prove to himself that he could split the sea for you? Do you think God has to prove himself to you? If your daughter is not to prove that she's the violinist because she has that certificate, does God have to prove himself to you? Because you have to know, who are you? Who are you to know? God, who are you? God has to prove himself. That was the end of the discussion.
That's an outstanding answer to my question.
Okay? As they say, a story is worth 1,000 words, like a picture. Okay, picture clear. Okay. Over here, we're right here, page Chafei in the Maharal. Second column, second paragraph, about 2/3 down. The Gemara in Shabbos cited a pasuk. There's 6 things which a person is going to be asked on Yom Hadin. She says, "Harei lecho shisha dvorim bekoten heichel ubegodol kolo." Starts with the first is the least, and it concludes with the greatest. Ki bevarei asher kodem lechol nis nosatev emunah. The first thing is the most simple. Did you act honestly in business? It's the first question I ask you. It's a simple one. Shim shiker. Because if a person lied, he acted dishonestly, it has no relevance to if a spiritual being to lie has no relevance to this. The conduct, the behavior is so contradictory to what a spiritual being is. No. It's not a question that you engage in Torah dialogue in wisdom. It's not understanding something to be able to understand something else. One is, did you value Torah sufficiently that information is important to you? Did you set times for studying? And then we say, and even if you did, To what degree did you apply yourself during those times? So that's already taken to another level. Rabbi came to the class, but you slept through 59 minutes of every hour that you stayed. Okay, so you came to the class. I stayed out of the office. Therefore what? For the sake of Torah. Okay? If you value Torah sufficiently that you're willing to carve out of your day that hour or whatever the period of time to study, that's the indication, that's a reflection of who you are. Right? Person goes, he's on the golf green 8 hours a day. What does it say about him? Right? Maybe yes, maybe he's a caddy. So we're playing one round. Okay. Not in the Maharal. No, it doesn't say. No, regular person. Baby Rav the Chajoma. Traveled 6 months to be with that, 6 months back. He studied for 1 day. They called Baby Rav the Chajoma. He was a student of the Beis Medrash 1 day. He couldn't afford more time, for whatever the reason was. Right? His circumstance didn't know. It doesn't mean to say he didn't study during the time he traveled. Doesn't mean that. He took out time a day. But the Baby Rav in the Beis Medrash, Kaved Idul Torah means Bar Bei Rav. No, which means what he's able to get there, he couldn't get anywhere else. But it doesn't mean to say he didn't study continuously whenever he traveled. Asak Pir Viribio Yosef ki Mashekova itam laTorah eno rak shu miyuchad el laTorah. Mashekova is laTorah vasak Pir Viribio mizdamal nivdolim biyosek moshamarnu. Ki dover ze mashenu proti when you got nivdal. Okay, we'll continue this. Let's see the Mishnah Berurah.